Maille. Thanks for joining us tonight for our live session. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Have I got the thumbs up? Yep, I've got the thumbs up. Beautiful, it's worked. So pleased. How are we all doing today? First day of spring for us Aussies. No one's responding to me, you sure? Oh, hey guys, how are yous? Hey, Wes and Rosalind, Cheryl and Susie and Kim and Deb and Anthea and Kylie and Shirley. Dev, that's alright. Dev is close enough. Hey Di, hey Hilda and Rosie, how you going guys? Hey Kerry. Oh good Leanne, I'm glad you can see and hear me. Hey Natalie, how are you? Hey Sarah. Oh yeah, spring. Means I have to start taking the hay fever tablets again.
Yeah. Did we end up getting some?
No, we didn't.
Did we?
We didn't. No, they we decided not to. Yeah. Hey Anna and Kate, how you going guys? Pinch and a punch? Yep. Hey Margaret, it's good to see you here. Vicky from England, welcome. Hey Phyllis, another crazy overseas person. Oh, happy Dad's Day, Vitiboro.
Yeah.
He's getting spoiled. He is getting so spoiled.
I'm doing well this Father's Day.
You're doing very well. Hey, Rodney, thank you. Sorry, had a brain conniption then. How are we? All right. So tonight we've got Fourever, which was a request. I don't remember who requested it, but in a chat session. Somebody requested it once. It was on my list of people,
This goes to you.
This goes to whoever asked for it. So it's called Fourever, or it's also known as a love knot. It's a fairly easy weave. Hey, Scott and Brizzy, Wendy. Hey, Dana. Good to see you, love. Yeah, so it's a fairly easy weave. So most beginners should be able to do it. Not a problem. And Chris went Sherry's Rocky Road. Chris is a bit partial to the old Rocky Road too.
Yeah, I don't mind the Rocky Road.
We don't tend to buy it for you though.
No, but I do like it.
How does Chris know? Because I foolishly bought something that involved PayPal accounts, and somebody may or may not have access to my PayPal account emails, and he saw what I bought him. So, surprise ruined.
Still my fault.
Because it's your fault. It's hardly going to be mine. All right, guys, I'm going to start this. We'll swap over to the other camera. I'll show you the sample pieces and we'll get a move on. This should be fairly easy tonight. Okay. All right, so I've got some sample pieces made up for everybody. Don't have a full bracelet of this one. I ran out of the ring sizes. But this is our 14 gauge AWG, which is 1.6 millimeter diameter wire. And the ring ID for this one is 6.75. I'm not happy with this ring size, but 6.5 was extremely tight. You couldn't do it with 6.5. 6.75 is really loose. Still holds its shape, but it's not ideal. In 16 gauge AWG, which is 1.2 millimeter diameter wire, the ring ID I chose for this one is 5. I have seen comments of people using 3/16 of an inch to get a colour version. I gave it a go, but although I could make the knot, what I couldn't do is then shove rings in there to join the knots together. So if you were wanting to make maybe just a single knot with one ring in there, it would work. But once you try putting 2 extra rings in to join them together, for me the 3/16 became really tight, so which is why I took it up to the 5 mil, which doesn't do a bad job. In 18 gauge, which is 1 millimeter diameter wire, the ring ID I chose for this one was 4 mils. This makes a really nice, tight, snug weave. If you wanted to, if you find it too tight, I did a 4.25. You can see that the knots just aren't quite as neat. These ones are very neat in shape. These ones have a little bit more of a wilder, looser look to them. But this one was very tight to do. It took a while to get it done. And then in 20 gauge, which is 0.8mm diameter wire, this one is 3.25mm ID, which made a sweet, sweet little bracelet. Okay, so that's the sizes that I chose for the tutorial. So they're all BA because it was just too difficult to get the coloured rings. For me, the attraction of this weave is having it in this shape. I've certainly seen these knots created with extremely loose rings, and that just doesn't hold that same patterning through them.
The nice tight knot looks really good.
So for me, I tried to get it as tight as I could without making it impossible to deal with.
It looks like the smaller you go, the more people like it.
Oh yeah, like the 20 gauge is really nice. The 18 gauge is lovely as well, but it did take a long time to do the 18 gauge because I had to really work to get the rings in. Hey Cynthia and Sam, good to see you. Alright, so I'll get started on this. So to start with, we make up just the knots themselves. To do that, close 2 of your rings. Now I'm doing this in 16 gauge tonight because I didn't have enough 14 gauge rings, but you guys should be able to see this okay. So pop 2 pre-closed rings onto an open ring. Close it up and put another open ring through the same path. Okay, so we've got a little chain of 2 and 2. Then taking up another open ring, pop it through one of your pairs there like that, and then before you close, bring your loose pair up and pop that onto your ring as well. Okay, so that you're now going through both of those pairs of rings. Is everything all right with the stream? Okay. And then we want to double that ring up again, so we're always working in pairs when we create this. So through the same path that we just placed that other ring. Okay, so straight through both pairs of rings, you can see that there. We place the second ring in our third pair. And then once you do that, with another open ring, go through the first and the second pair, so working from your right going backwards, or if you're going the other way, it would be your second and your third pair. Go through both of those rings. Okay, just like that, so that we're back to this. And then pick up that pair that's on the bottom and slip it over the ring. Close it up, and then of course we want to double that ring up as well. So we put it through the middle, making sure we go straight through the middle and that we don't accidentally Mobius any of, like Mobius that first ring that we put in there. When it's tight, that can sometimes happen. And then that is your knot. So to make the bracelet up, you just make up several pairs of those, or several units. So again, I'll just do one more for you. Taking 2 pre-closed rings, popping them onto an open ring, close that up, doubling that ring up because we're always working in pairs. Okay, so we've now got a short chain section of 2, 2 with another open ring, go through one of those pairs and then just swing the bottom one up over the top, close it up, and again we want to double this ring up, so we just want to slip that through the middle there. Okay, just make sure we get it straight through the middle and that we don't Mobius this ring we just placed. Okay, we don't want it to go through the middle of that ring, just the other two. Okay, close it up. And then your last pair of rings, we want them to go through the two most recent pairs that we've got in here. Okay, and again, bring that bottom pair of rings up so it slips over the top. Close it up, and we want to place the second one in there. Okay, making sure again that we don't Mobius that ring, single ring that we just put in. And close it up. Whoops, I think I've separated a ring there. Can you see how I've separated a pair? I haven't gone through that properly. That's not sitting right. So I get for trying to look at the screen. Where's my join? Let's do that again. Okay, so go through, keep picking that up wrong. There we go. Is that it? Oh my gosh, I'm making a kerfuffle of this. All right, there we go. The problem with this is it's a lovely little ball and everything moves on you, which is why it's nice to get it right the first time, and a little disastrous when you don't. There we go. There. And that's your knot. And then to join them, okay, so we want to put a ring at the beginning. Now to this you could add your clasp, or this is your closing ring. And then we want to put the next connecting ring. So you've got this one here. We want to put the connecting ring through this pair over here. Okay? And ideally, we want it to sit between these pair here. Now, if your rings are really loose, they'll move out of position. They won't maintain that position. And if your rings are really tight, sometimes it can be hard to get them in there as well. So I find this is one of the weaves that you've got to get the rings right to get the look you want. They are really slippery. The rings tend to move around. Okay, so we've popped that on there, and then we just grab this one here and we feed it on. And close it up. And that's it. So once you've got all your units together, you can just join them up. And let's see if I can find one that's got some nice, you can see here, this one here is what I would consider ideal, but you can see either side the rings have moved and it's split those pairs. It can alter the shape of the knot a little bit when that happens. So again, you know, these I would consider ideal joinings. This one here is split the ring. Now they were all joined correctly when I made it, but there's just movement in the rings, and the looser the rings, the more likely that movement is going to be all over the place. So these ones are really quite loose. So it's really difficult to get it to hold properly. You can see that the knots move out of shape and lose their, move out of alignment and lose their shape a little bit. So the tighter you can do it, the better, in my opinion. But that's it.
Got a couple of questions lined up for you.
Okay, because I wasn't watching, so...
Yep. So Rosie's asked approximately how many rings for a bracelet. So I counted 8 per unit, plus joining rings, yeah?
Yep.
So how many units make up a bracelet?
Well, that depends on what ring ID they're using.
Yep.
So if they buy the tutorial, all that information is in there.
That helps a lot. And tutorial's up, yeah?
No, but I will put a tutorial up. But it really depends on the ring size. But to give you an idea, if I can find a ruler. Okay. 18 gauge, the knots are, 6 or 7 millimeters. They're, well, not 6 or 7, more like, what did I measure it out at? Sorry, I was reading that wrong. About 5 mils. And that one's about 6 or 7. These ones are about 1 centimeter. And the 20 gauge is maybe about 3 mils. So that's the knot, and then you just have to allow for the sizing of the ring.
Okay. Before I go to Cynthia's question, Deb D asked if you want colour. If you want colour, you could use AA for the connectors.
Yep, absolutely. They'd just be a different size, but I don't see that would be a problem.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then you get to choose what size. I guess they can be smaller or bigger. Depends on which ring.
How much space you want between them.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea if you want a little bit of colour. Was there another one?
Yep.
Is everyone having trouble with the feed tonight?
Yeah, there's coming up saying this video is unavailable. That message I got just before the stream started.
Okay.
So if it does come up, they just need to refresh the page.
Okay, because mine says it's good.
Yeah, no drop frame rates or anything.
No drop frame rates.
No problems on my side.
Facebook says it's good.
YouTube.
YouTube says it's good. Rosie, as I said, depends on which gauge you want. If you want to tell me the gauge, I'll give you an idea of the ring count. But yeah, it very much varies between the gauge because the knots are so different.
And slightly off topic, Cynthia was asking if you've done scale mail before.
I don't work with scales a lot. I have made a vest for my youngest. And I think that picture is in part of the banner on our Facebook group. Might as well get that off my hands. I don't work with it a lot, basically.
No, just occasionally.
So
yes, but not.
Yeah, yes, but it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Basically, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I find scale mail is mostly useful for clothing, and I don't do clothing.
Yeah. More cosplay stuff.
Yeah.
Cynthia's another northerner.
I'm just going to go to bed. All right, Cynthia, darling, thank you for joining us. It was a nice quick one tonight, so, it'd be just like you woke up from a bad dream and now you're going back to sleep again.
No, it wasn't that bad. I could follow it.
You could follow it?
Could I do it? That's a different story.
Yeah, you could. It's just a Mobius, basically. At the end of the day, it's just a Mobius with set size rings, and that's all. Anything else? Does anybody else have any questions? Or you're making a necklace with the scales, Cynthia, I'm assuming? Yeah, look, I don't have a lot of experience with it, to be honest. And when I have used it, I've just used European 4-in-1 pretty much to join the scales, or shaggy scales. How is the quilt progressing? Wes, you'd be able to tell us about that.
Yeah, we've still got to send ours up to Wes actually.
Well, now that I have to do another one, we might as well wait.
I'll wait
until we finish them all.
So there's just a couple of other people that need to finish up and send it up.
Oh, Wes will make another piece too. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Wes.
So we should be covered with the ones that are missing.
Yeah, I know Kerry will too if we need as well.
Yep.
So.
Okay. All right, Kylie. Thanks for coming along. How many different patterns have I done a demonstration on? I don't know. I haven't counted. A lot. Less than 100? More than 50?
Definitely more than 50 because we're on. I think we're coming up to.
I don't know how.
15 months.
I don't know.
And there's
and a couple of
we started February, 18 months.
A couple of the earlier videos aren't up on YouTube because they were so atrocious. Still waiting for 10 patches, Wes. Yeah. Well, I was going to do a second, and Wes put his hand up today, Kerry, to do a second one. I think at this stage we're covered.
Yeah, I think so. We just need Kate and Stephen to finish theirs up.
Yeah, and I think Michelle will get her. Was it Michelle? We'll get hers done a little bit later.
Yeah.
She's been a bit busy.
I've got my little spreadsheet.
Yeah, I think at the moment, Kerry, we've got it in hand. I've just got to come up with a design. Somebody's got a design they'd like me to do. Because it just about killed me to come up with my first design. All right, Leanne, thanks for coming along. Your patch is waiting on Kate. Yeah, we're all waiting on Kate. Kate.
No pressure, Kate.
Night, Cynthia. Thanks for coming, darling. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have that quilt done soon. Hopefully by the end of the year anyway.
I think we will. 60, around 60.
Well, I know there's a lot more than that on Facebook, isn't there?
Yeah,
I mean,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh, that doesn't include the project ones.
Yeah.
So it's just the weaves.
When is the new stock coming? The new stock is here.
Woohoo!
I have finally checked everything off my list, so I know I've got everything that I ordered. Now I need to weigh everything, convert that into our stock units, put it up on the website. So I will start doing that tonight, and hopefully we will have.
So over the next 2 to 3 days, we'll have all.
We should have everything up on the website.
website.
It's going to take me a couple of days to get there. Yeah. It took quite a lot of effort to just tick it all off the list.
Yeah, and Susie was right. That truck was big. We had lots of boxes.
Yeah.
Margaret's going. Not Margaret.
Margaret's off. Thanks for coming along, Margaret. Yeah, my stream says good. As far as YouTube is showing, there is no issues. I have no dropped frame rates.
I think it's YouTube tonight.
I've no dropped rates, nothing. So, and my connection is good.
Yeah, randomly hitting random people.
So, Kerry, I would assume everything's going to be up by the middle of the week. I'm trying to get it done because I've got a whole lot of other stuff I have to get done as well. Searching to find them. They're all on our channel, Phyllis. So if you just search for our channel and then go to the video tab, because the front tab only shows the most recent or the most watched or something like that. Not for the next 4 months, Susie. No sleep for Deb for the next 4 months. But if you click the videos tab, everything's there, date order. So some of the earlier ones that we did originally on Facebook are on there. Some of those are a bit rough, especially the really early ones. So please forgive us. We got better as we went along. All right, Anthea, thanks very much for coming along. But yeah, I can't remember how many videos are on, and I don't want to move out of this in case it disconnects.
I think 60 to 80, I would say, is a fair number.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see. As far as messages are concerned, Mail Club opened up today. So that's open for anybody that wants to join. The back order catalogue, of course, is always open. It never closes. The loop bag rings, they were based on the Byzantine sizes, so they're good for Byzantine, European 4-in-1, double vision, Turkish round mail, those sorts of weaves. So anything that uses an aspect ratio of 3.5, you'll be able to use those weaves for. We chose that size because it's good for basic weaves. The 3.5 also makes good joining weaves in Japanese, the joining units, or helm, things like that. So you should be able to use them all up. I'm glad you liked the enamel copper. All right, Donna, thanks for joining us. I didn't see you coming, darling. Sorry about that. So MailCon is still open for registrations, guys. We've still got room there for those that want to come along in October and do a couple of days mailing with us. We don't have any other real news in that regard. We've got 3 weeks until the Bead and Buy here in Sydney. For those that want to pop along and see us and chat, we'll be at the East Ryde Scout Hall. Maybe you're able to put a link up for the Bead and Buy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. So that's in 3 weeks. So if you guys want to come along, I think it's a couple of bucks to get in for the day, and your name. I think there's also some prize draws and things like that going on, but it's a pretty laid back scenario. Lots of tables for people to sit at and just chat and bead and mail in our regard. So Chris has put the Bead and Buy link up. That'll give you more information about where it is and when it is and times and things like that. But that is the, I want to say 22nd and 23rd, something like that, isn't it, babe, of September?
Yes.
One more question. How does the exchange rate from US... sorry, I'm sure you're sending enough for the Saturday Night Mailers. That is based on whatever PayPal deems their exchange rate at the time. So whatever PayPal tells you to pay, that's the correct. Oh, you're right.
Sorry.
That's the correct rate.
So it's done automatically.
It's done automatically,
Phyllis
basically.
Phyllis doesn't have to worry about it.
No. So once you register, it's a reoccurring payment. The PayPal just takes out the correct amount based on the exchange rate that they use at the time. So it might be different each month, the actual physical US dollars that you pay, because of the up and down of the exchange rates. Getting hot deals, ad travel center.
So this people's getting the refresh issue seems to be ads
Yep.
during the live stream. So I thought we'd turn that off, but we'll look into it later.
We don't have ads through the middle of the live streams. I think what happens is when they refresh, YouTube thinks they've gone away and come back, and
you think that's what's
they
happening?
throw ads up then.
Okay.
So
So it's just the whole hiccup process. Yeah.
it's So basically, Phyllis, at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about it. Just pay whatever it is that PayPal tells you to pay, because that's their job.
Yeah.
So MailCon, I think that's it, really.
Yeah, I think so.
Bead and Buy, MailCon, and of course we're gearing up for Christmas
Markup.
and
Subscriptions.
that sort of fun thing. So we've got a busy 4 months ahead of us. We've got a few things on. But that's what this time of year is always about. And I think that's it. So if no one's got anything else that they want to chat about. Yeah, every time, like if I'm in the middle of watching a YouTube video, and not necessarily live here, but every time I'm watching a YouTube video and I go away and I come back, like 5 hours later or something, I get an ad.
Yeah,
so I'd say that's something that's happening here as well. We definitely haven't got ads in the middle of our videos. We did not run with that option.
Well, I'm not getting through the video, but I'm just wondering if that was...
No, it's only because they're refreshing, so YouTube thinks they're coming back and watching it.
No, that makes sense.
But yeah, we don't have it set up for ads through the middle of the videos. We won't be doing that. I don't like watching a video and having an ad pop up through the middle of it. So we won't be doing that to you guys. All right, everyone. If we're all good to go, we might say a night. I've got a lot of work ahead of me getting all that stock up on the computer, as well as doing a ton of kits and things. So we'll catch up with you guys through the week. I won't be on Facebook as much as I normally am because I've got quite a lot to do. But, you know, if you've got any questions or comments or something, you know, email us might be the best way to get our attention. And we'll do our best to help you guys out. So I hope you enjoyed the video tonight. And we'll catch up with you, hopefully, through the week. Otherwise, we'll see you here next week. All right, bye, guys. Mwah!